Ottoman, sir. You've a guest.
Do you know what types of sculptures fetch the best prices? Statues of deities, busts of kings, and nudes. And what have we here? A naked wench. What do you think of her?
Sculpture isn't really my thing.
Can't blame you. Contemporary art's become superficial and bland. A century on, they'll be using just such nudes on placards to hawk bricks and other banalities. Mark my words. I used to like Botticelli. The life he could breathe into a chunk of cold stone. But I look at it now, and it seems just a rock, ideally proportioned. Not a flaw on its surface. Painfully perfect. As lifeless and boring as a boulder at the roadside. That's better. More interesting, at the least. Very well. And now to the matter at hand. Let's rejoin the company. Partake of some refreshment first.
Ataman Olgierd, long may he live! Long live the Ataman!
Long live the Ataman! Long live the Ataman!
Come and drink with us!
Well, we haven't a choice now.
Monster in the sewers. Know anything more?
I've no clue what it is. Only that it's deadly. I'd not have bothered had my cook not become its victim. Oh, the way she prepared game had no equal.
That why she was in the sewers? To fetch game?
Nay. She went to a fair with a sister or cousin, matters not. Daft wench convinced her a prince transformed into a toad lives in the Oxenfurt sewers. And you know women. Each craves a prince and will wade knee-deep through shite to get him. Vissy was no exception in that respect. Now she went, never to return. Wasn't the first, it seems, either. Hey! Leave her be! Is that any way to treat the lord of the manor's daughter? Apologies. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the contract. So, you'll check it?
Consider the beast gone.
Confident? Bring me its head, and the reward shall be yours. What is this row? Are you not done with him? My ears wither from the screams. Ah, Geralt. As you've returned, might I assume you've cleared the sewers? Or have you not been there?
You killed my father!
Not I.
You lie! Whoreson!
That man killed him. Alone. Unbeknownst to me. Out of fury, for your father refused us hospitality. For this willful violation of the chivalry code, he was summarily executed himself. Anything else I might do for you? Take her away. Now, where were we?
Really necessary, that whole show?
Ugh, show? Come now. A man must display some madness from time to time. Helps him feel alive. Dare say you know what I mean, judging by the mark on your face.
You're immortal?
Depends on your understanding of the term. Indeed, I cannot be killed. But it's not at all what folk imagine. Not dying does not mean eternally living your life to the full.
So it's a curse?
A curse? No, wouldn't call it that. I'll put it this way. You must be careful what you wish for, lest your wish be granted. For there are consequences.
Not sure I follow.
You know very little can hurt you. So you take wild risks. Chase extreme sensations. There comes a point you've done it all seems boring and monotonous. The trick's to plough through that moment. Go further. Reach beyond what's known as possible.
Know what this is?
I cannot be certain, but I've my suspicions. That's a dangerous man you've chosen to deal with, Witcher.
Killed the beast in the sewers.
Congratulations are in order then. Your reward. You're also welcome to take what you wish from the manor house. If anything's left uncharred, that is. Was it a tough fight?
I sliced its gut open, and it turned into a man. You know that would happen?
Of course he did. He'd never have dragged you into this elsewise.
Gaunter or dim. Come to cast aspersions.
No. I've come to collect a debt.
You know you first must
Grant you 3 requests, by proxy. I present to you my champion, Geralt of Rivia.
That true? You know the Toad was a cursed prince?
He didn't just know. He brought about the curse himself. Did he not mention that bit? Well then, allow me to tell it. Quite the gripping story. Olgierd once loved a beautiful maiden named Iris. Yet, her parents chose to offer her hand to the Crown Prince of Ophir. Olgierd grew to hate the poor sot. At first, he wished to kill him. Then decided this would be too simple. So, instead, he condemned the prince to a base life in a toad's bloated corpus. Yet he grew bored of watching him suffer and decided to end it. By your hand.
Remind me, O Dim. Who is to fulfill my last 3 requests?
My assistant, Geralt.
Then be gone. I don't wish to look at your face any longer than I must. Come.
Where to?
The stables. My men are preparing to depart.
Could have told me the truth about the Toad. Having a bit of fun at my expense.
I simply wanted the beast dead. I could not know you would respond to the notice. Pure coincidence. Yeah, I must admit, when you, a Witcher, answered the call, I thought it right. It's what you lot are trained to do.
Might have been able to lift the curse.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Then again, why bother?
He was a human being.
That bloody Aetheri mutt was no human. His kind does not deserve to live.
What he said about the prince, that true? You turn him into a toad?
Perhaps. Or perhaps the Aetheri Dauphin ate something that disagreed with him. You never know with their cuisine.
Never heard of food that turns men into monsters.
Then perhaps it was something he drank. I cast the curse. Revenge for a deep disappointment. I was another man then. Let rage get the better of me and hollered the words without ever thinking they could possibly come true.
This thing between you and Master Mirror, your quarrel, really rather not get involved.
You already are, I fear. He did something for you. Now you've a debt to repay. Am I right?
Yes.
Well, then you'll not free yourself of him until you've paid it back. But never worry. I shall devise tasks so impossible you will never complete them. Not if you go mad trying. But try your best, and your debt shall be absolved, while I shall live in peace until Master Mirror finds another aide-de-camp.
Guess I gotta pop the question directly. What do I need to do for you?
Let me think. We're currently without a roof over our heads. Perhaps we should start with that. Bring me the house of Maximilian Borsodi.
His house?
So surprised. But why? I must live somewhere, mustn't I? What's the meaning of this? Second leave of your senses? You mean to mount a filthy horse? Out of my sight, wretch! Know what Vladimir would do to you if he saw?
Aye.
Vladimir.
My brother. There were times he himself stank like foot wrappings 3 days old, but his mount always looked fit for a parade. Oh, none rivaled Vladimir at feasting, carousing. Sadly, he's been celebrating less of late. You must find him, and show him the time of his life. My second request.
Fine, seems easy enough. And the third?
Complete those two, then we shall speak of the third.
Any hints? Where I should go, how I might start?
You must be mad. I've no intention to make things easier for you.
Once I'm done with those two, where will I find you?
I cannot know, as my band has planned some diversions. But let us say at the Alchemy Inn, in Oxenfurt.
Fine. See you there.
Good food.
What are they doing?
Playing. Overgrown wains, you see. Have you any children, Geralt?
None.
Oh, yes. Forgot witches are sterile. Well, don't just stare at me. Tell me what brings you.
Keep wondering how you turned the Ophiri into a beast. More I think about it, more I'm sure it was no run-of-the-mill curse.
This professional curiosity, or nosiness as common as the clap.
Desire to improve. Information could prove useful down the line.
In the future, you under the delusion you'll complete your tasks, live happily ever after.
Remains to be seen. So for now, admit it. A mage helped you, right?
I'll give you a hint. You're not the only one to fulfill wishes round here.
Odim transformed the Ophiri? It was your wish?
Nay. It was my doing alone. But you're right. It was no ordinary curse. Though I'll say no more. A curse I uttered in a moment of rage, with no thought to it actually taking hold.
Vladimir sends his love.
You spoke to him. Impossible.
Did more than that. Fulfilled your wish. And talked to him extensively. Curious what he had to say? Fulfilled your wish. Your dead brother had himself one more day like those of old.
Very easy to say. But have you got any proof?
I do.
Vladimir's hand. It's unmistakable. You've done well, Witcher. Is that all? Or have you something else?
Gonna work on getting you Borsodi's house next. Need to chat.
I'm all ears, Witcher.
Got something for you.
I love gifts, but I prefer to unwrap them in private. Oi, lads, mind the barrels. Going out for a jabber with Geralt. Come. Oh, that's better. All right, what do you have for me?
Max Borsodi's house, as requested.
The papers. Where are they?
Left them in the vault. You wanted the house, you got the house. Never mentioned its contents.
You're a quick study. Already as tricky as Odin himself. Keen to ridicule a man. Do you know what I and the company do with your type?
Dunno. Ask for legal advice? Looks to me like you might need some. You signed the contract, Olgierd. I'm just fulfilling its terms, to the letter. Unhappy? Hell, should have chosen your words more carefully.
Yes, I should have. I assume you came to an agreement with Horst. Shame. A right horse in that one.
Made a deal with his brother, who then beat the living shit out of Horst with a gold candle holder.
Huh. It's progress.
Why did you even need those papers?
To sink the Borsodis, naturally. You see, I learned of an interesting clause in old man Maximilian's will. It states that his sons must meet and shake hands in agreement at least once a year at Bellatane. Failing that, the auction house must be auctioned off. The proceeds to go to Vilmerius Hospital.
Guess the old man sensed what might happen.
Aimed to deliver those papers to the right hands. Borsodi would have landed in the streets, and the hospital would have gotten the funds it needs to treat orphans and beggars pro bono.
Awfully noble of you, showing so much concern for the needy.
I couldn't give a rat's ass about the needy. Made her wither and disappear along with the city. I wanted one thing. Revenge.
The Borsodis. What's your gripe? Get kicked out of an auction?
Worse. They evicted me from my home. Are you really interested?
Wouldn't have asked if I wasn't.
Ha! Cheeky as ever. My family, they took on some debt. A poor investment in a sawmill. A bad crop one year. A lawsuit lost. You know how it is. When it rains, it pours. We needed but a few weeks to recover. But Horst Borsodi had acquired our debt. All of it. Demanded it be repaid immediately. I pleaded. I begged. I tore open my shirt at his threshold. Ugh. It was like talking to a wall. I went to the auction. Saw those perfumed pricks buy my father's sword. My mother's death mask. My brother's horse tack. Ah, Horst earned a pretty pile selling our mementos.
No surprise the animosity you feel for him.
That was but the start. My Iris's parents learned of my family's misfortune, and our betrothal was no more. They found her another suitor, one from beyond the sea. The anger I felt, I thought I'd gone mad. Went to the tavern, drank a round, a second. I brawled, then had another tankard. And then, I asked the wrong bloke for help.
What happened then?
What happened then, Witcher, was one big stinking pile of shite. Well, why do you stand there? Do you need something still?
Third wish. Time you stated it.
A moment, Geralt. I must see to something. Then we'll chat. You there. Yank the herring out the barrel.
Come on, none of this dallying.
Now, ready to listen? Or do you still not give two shites about what I've got to say?
I'm ready. I'm listening.
Good. You'll return to your lord and tell him as follows. His demand was brazen. Hurt me to the core. For I was brought up to respect the sacred law of hospitality. And I shall not bend to an uncouth boor's dictum. Understood? I will pay him a visit shortly to test his willingness to adapt. So you ride off and announce me. And don't spare your horse. Got it?
Aye, got it.
Give this man a mount and leave him go. Come with you. We must talk outside. The Aphiri believe one should only discuss important matters out of doors, with the gods as witnesses.
Beryl, what was that about?
On the way here, we stopped for nourishment at a tavern belonging to one Lord Dauntless. We enjoyed ourselves as one does at an inn, raucously. Our antics were not to the liking of this Dauntless. Sent a man to warn us that if we were ever to return, we would hang.
You burned the inn down?
I left ample compensation with the innkeep. But it seems the rapscallion neglected to mention this to his lord. But that's of little import. What matters is someone called me a whoreson and threatened to kill me. It was one of those threats that sound like an invitation. I intend to accept it. Return to those parts.
Must have made quite a few enemies along the way. Maybe not today and not tomorrow, but someday, someone will find a way to take you down.
And that should trouble me why? I feel no fear, no regrets. The wise men of Oxenfurt claim there are no gods. After death, there is only the void. I've known this void already. Death holds no surprises.
Fulfilled 2 of your wishes. Time I learned the 3rd.
Confident, aren't you? Proud, sure of your strengths. Fearless.
3rd task, if you don't mind.
Mutations. They stripped you of emotion. Tell me, have you ever loved? I mean, truly loved?
Yeah, I've loved. Can we get to the matter at hand?
Perhaps instead we ought to sit down inside. Have a good chat over some fiery water.
We'll drink once the job's done.
Afraid that's impossible. Succeed and that's the end of me. Fail and you'll not be back.
3rd wish, still waiting to hear it.
Aye, aren't you stubborn? Fine. Listen well. I had a wife once. The day I saw her last, I gave her a rose. A violet one. Bring me that bloom. Wouldn't mind reminding myself what it looks like.
When was that? How long's it been? Flowers wilted and turned to dust by now.
You wished to hear a wish. Now you out. Fulfill it. I ride now to visit this Dauntless, but one of my men will remain here. He'll know how to find me. That is, of course, should you succeed.
Least you could tell me where your wife is.
In my old manor, east of Martin Foy's farmstead. I'd wish you Godspeed, but, well, you understand, I'm sure. Goodbye, Geralt.
Blurred. You must peer closely and restore it.
Perfect match.
We should get a dog. Or a dog and a cat. Even better. When the rain comes, the dog will warm my feet and the cat will play with a ball of yarn by the fire. What do you think? Are you even listening?
Apologies, dear. Had my mind on my book.
Is it that terribly absorbing?
Yes, terribly. Know what? Let's go inside.
Why? It's lovely out here. The birds singing, the bees buzzing. Blissful, really.
Sorry, dear. I feel unwell. I'll go in. You stay a while longer.
Perfect match.
Your health, my dear wife.
And yours, my husband.
In my land, custom calls that newlyweds be greeted with bread and salt. But we're alone for now.
I need none but you. Oh, if only this moment could last forever.
I shall see what I can do. But come in and see our home.
Gladly, but I know this sounds silly, yet the house has sat empty for so long and I'm...
Afraid of spiders? I know. I swept them all up and tossed them in the garden.
My knight, you've seen to everything.
My darling, is everything all right? You seem pale, out of sorts.
Everything's fine, really. But why don't you tell me how you fare? I'm ever so happy to see you. Except, why didn't Grandmama and Grandpapa come?
It's a long, rugged journey. Muddy.
They still refuse to meet me. Is that it? And what's this?
We've brought some of Iris's things. Her favorite brush, her cherished doll, and this for you.
Banknotes.
We paid off your debts, bought them out, to avoid bringing shame to the family.
So nice of Mama and Papa to remember me.
Olgierd?
Now you see his true nature? I warned you before the wedding. A ruffian and a boor who keeps the company of bandits. Are you not afraid to live under one roof with that rabble?
That stench.
What time is it?
It's late. Sleep.
Up all night in your study again, I see. What have you got on your hands?
Nothing. Got a bit dirty, that's it.
Is that blood? Have you hurt yourself?
Ink stains. I was writing letters. I shall go to Oxenfurt soon. Perhaps you'd come with me.
Oh, that's a marvelous idea. A trip would do us both so much good.
Then it's decided. Now, time for bed. I'm exhausted.
I shan't fall asleep now. It's out of the question. Come, I shall finish your portrait.
Maybe on this side. Finally, just like the picture.
Smile a bit wider.
Like this?
You were meant to smile, not bare your teeth. No, still wrong. Smile like you did when Papa agreed we could marry. Please? You're useless. I can tell something's bothering you.
I've a bit of work I should see to.
Again? Olgierd, we agreed not to keep any secrets from one another. We promised.
Forgive me. I don't wish to discuss this.
Olgierd. Olgierd!
Black man. How about this?
Come back! We must talk!
Go away. I wish to be alone.
Not this time! Come out at once!
Leave me be. I merely want to work in peace. What other spell must I use, damn it? I've tried them all. I wish to end our pact. I summon thee! Damn it! Fire! In here, quickly! The flames! Douse the flames!
Furthermore, it is agreed that Iris shall be accorded the respect she is owed, that you shall heed her counsel and requests, and—
Get to the point, Father. My patience runs thin.
Gladly. On Iris's request, I declare this marriage null and void.
You vowed to remain with me till death do us part.
And I've held to my vow. The Olgierd I married is no more.
Breaking a word once given does not come that easy. Believe me. You shall stay here, forever.
Enough! You will not command us. You will—
Father! Father! No!
Servants, take this carcass and feed it to the beasts.
This was yours. You actually ate from these bowls?
Of course not. I already told you, we're not animals.
But the caretaker would set them out all the same, as ordered.
Another monstrosity. I begged you to stop this. Those two are too many as it is.
The dog and cat keep you company. This one will protect you, care for the house, no matter what happens.
Before, I wished to know what was going on in that head of yours. I thought perhaps I could help. Now, I care not the slightest what you think or how you feel.
I feel nothing.
Just as I no longer know if I still hate you. Go, Olgierd. I want you out of my sight.
Olgierd von Everec failed to understand we'd never be able to replace him.
His spectre now casts a shadow over Lady Iris's every remembrance.
My dearest wife, letters from Olgierd to Iris, were I only as skilled with words as I am with my blade, especially now, when an icy void grips my heart. I see how you look at me, and I see you wither. I cannot help you, but I believe I can cease harming you. This letter and this rose are my farewell. May you live in health, and remember but the good times, Olgierd.
Strange choice of locale. Guessing there's a reason for it.
You're an art lover. Thought you'd appreciate the place?
A witcher with aesthetic sensibility. Forgive my disbelief. But since we're here, I believe you have something for me.
Fulfilled the third wish.
How do I know this to be the rose? Very well might have picked this up at the Oxenfurt market an hour ago.
Look closely at it. Got it from Iris. It was the last thing that bound her to this world.
What?
Iris was tired of living half alive, half dead. Thinks she just wanted it to end.
Can't blame her. I condemned her to terrible suffering. Iris. What a mess we made of it all. If I'd only known then how it would end. What's happening? I feel as though a hot iron's pierced my chest.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. So glad to see everyone's made it. How do you feel, von Everec? A little less troubled? Lighter in the heart?
Or dim? What do you want?
What do you mean, what? Your soul.
You forget. The pact states you can take it only once you've fulfilled 3 wishes and...
And we stand together on the moon. Well, what do you know?
What? No. We had a pact. The moon is there. There! Not here.
I gave you what you wished for. Here, on the moon, our contract you fulfilled.
Horse. You cheated me.
I never cheat.
Wait.
Do not interfere, Witcher. Remember what I did to the last fool who interrupted me.
You grant wishes, right? Grant mine and release him.
He must repay his debt.
Let him go, and I'll take it on. we'll call it mine.
You wish to give your soul for his?
No, but we can play for them. I lose, you take mine and Olgierd's. But if I win, you release us both.
What do you propose we play? Gwent?
Don't know. Maybe we can bet on a challenge. You know I'm good at accomplishing the impossible. Seen me do it.
Very well. But we shall do this my way.
So, any better?
Yeah, thanks. Wine's revived me a bit.
This plonk could revive a corpse. An exquisitely rank vintage. You know what, though? It's good at last to taste something real. So, have at it. Tell me what the blazes just happened. Your brand's gone. Guessing that's a good sign?
First off, you tell me what it's like to have a heart of stone.
It's wonderful at the start. You feel no fear, no angst, but also no concern, no care for anyone, not even those you loved. And gradually, you lose them. Well, you know how it ended.
What about your senses? Taste, smell?
All there. At first, I savoured the world like never before. It was stronger, more clear.
How's that possible?
I did not wish for a heart of stone. That was a mere side effect. I wished to win back Iris's hand and have my fortune restored, and then to live like there was no tomorrow. And thus I lived until I ceased to feel anything at all. What a joy to be done with it. Because I am done, right? Will you tell me what happened?
O'Dim decided to have some fun at my expense. Devised a game I was supposed to lose. Seems he'd forgotten the training you put me through, in doing the undoable.
Sought only to protect myself. In doing so, I put you in harm's way. Forgive me.
Well, don't have to worry about him anymore. You're safe and free.
I thank you. Though I've no notion what to do with this freedom now. Mirror took everything. Everything I loved. All I held dear.
Not true. Got your heart back.
A bitter victory. Now at last I sense how much I've lost. I've a heart again. Yet all it feels is grief, sadness, and defeat. My life is a ruin.
You've handled tougher situations. You'll figure this one out. Got a company of faithful comrades waiting. Got a home, your fortune.
No. I cannot live as I did before.
So what'll you do?
I don't know. But one thing's clear. It's time I took fate into my own hands. Lived life anew. And truly, this time.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll never forget what you did for me, Witcher. I have something for you.
Can't accept this.
You can, and must. This sabre's been in my family for generations. Even when I'd lost all else, it remained at my side. Means a great deal to me.
All the more reason why I can't take it.
Do me the honor. This'll mark the start of my new life. And such a weapon could be right useful to you.
Thank you.
Ow!
Sorry.
You needn't be. I thank you again, Geralt. And good luck on the path.
Good luck to you too.